Yo, what's up, peoples? This is Horu30 bringing you another episode of Why I Hate Gaming. And today we're going to be talking about a new game that recently came out for the PS4, PS3, 360, Xbox One, and also the PC. We're going to be talking about Thief. Thief is, as you may have guessed, a game about a thief called Garrett who is a very experienced master thief who is pretty much a veteran of the trade, and there's a lot of bullshit that goes on in this game that is pretty questionable. For example, there's a lot of supernatural, spiritual nonsense that happens in this game that you might normally question. Aside from the point, Thief is actually about someone who likes to obtain loot and a bunch of other stuff that others may claim for themselves. This thief in particular does a lot of stuff like lock picking, obtaining stuff that doesn't belong to him, picking pockets. You know, he has a bow and arrow and stuff like that, a blackjack that he uses to freaking knock enemies out, and he gets upgrades, buys stuff with gold. You know, you get upgrades, and he also has a sort of eagle vision, sort of a second sense going on with his eye or whatever. It's like he's been attuned by some sort of alien material in his eye that allows him to, you know, see objects at some sort of heightened sense of perception or whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyway, it's called Focus, which is also pretty bullshit. Actually, noob mode. Thief is about it's more of a stealth gameplay going on in this game. It's not really about shooting people up. It's about hiding in the shadows and stuff like that. While I played this game, I was actually questioning the validity of the AI, since while I was playing it, the freaking AI, the enemies, they all knew where I was. Like, I couldn't be too close to them, otherwise they would like open fire on me. And it's like, you can't really sneak in this game, and you can't be too close to the enemies. They should have worked on that. They should have adjusted the game to where you'd be able to maneuver in like a way which would be a little bit more smooth. I believe that the mechanics of the game weren't smooth enough. That was my major gripe with this game. What's unique about the game is the fact that it's a stealth game. You don't have a lot of stealth games out there. What else is unique about it? There's really nothing unique about this game. It's generic as hell. I feel like I played this game before in some way or some form. I didn't really like anything about Thief. It's freaking average, generic as hell. Would I play the game again? No, I would not play it again. I don't like this game. I'd only play if I was bored, and I only recommend it to someone if I was bored as well. So no, I wouldn't play Thief again. The game is really average. There's nothing special going on here. While I was playing it, I was trying to figure out better ways to play the game, but there is one interesting thing that you can do in this game. You can actually like adjust the difficulty to your liking. You can play the game however you want, a lot of different multitude of ways. The game has high sense of replayability. You don't have to use focus if you don't want to. They encourage multiple routes in the game. They encourage you not trying to take on enemies and fight. You know, at least it's not Call of Duty. But I don't know. I feel like adding all this action to the Thief genre, the Thief series itself, was a little bit unnecessary. And I believe that the original Thief series was a lot more better than this. A little bit of a shoddy reboot. I really don't agree with this game, and I feel like if they just made it a little bit more unique or a little bit more true to the series, I believe maybe it could have been a better game. Maybe more people would have liked it. You know, I had high hopes for this game, but it let me down in the end. If you want Thief, you can get it on the consoles that I mentioned before. I wouldn't recommend it though. I suggest you save your money for other stealth games coming out like Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, even though that game might be average itself too, but not, you know, average on the same level as this game was. So personally, I believe this game gets a 3 out of 5. Peace out, peoples.